Critics, together, strong. Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman movie report. This week I'm going to talk about the long-awaited sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. In 2011 we had Rise of the Planet of the Apes, a somewhat reboot to the original 1968 Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes movie, which was groundbreaking at its time. And the 2011 version, where we had James Franco playing this scientist who had this job developing this Alzheimer's cure, because he had his father, played by James Lithgow, who had been a classical pianist, but who was suffering from Alzheimer's, so he was very interested in developing this cure for Alzheimer's. And originally, in the beginning of that film, we had this ape being caught in Africa, and this ape is of course brought to America, and it's pregnant, and then it's injected with the cure developed by James Franco's character. And it turns out the little baby ape, which this ape later gives birth to, is highly intelligent due to being subjected to the cure developed by James Franco's character. And then, of course, things starts to unravel, and then we have that this cure James Franco's character developed, of course, made the apes intelligent and extremely sentient, but it turns out it creates this flu, which is very deadly to humans. This flu is spread across the earth by the guy who played the nerdy scientist on Stargate Atlantis. And in this movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, we have the story taking place 10 years after the events of the 2011 movie. And we learn that the virus, it's called simian flu, has wiped out most of humanity. And in this movie, what is left of humanity is in the ruins of San Francisco. And this small human colony is led by Dreyfus, played by the very talented Gary Oldman, whose role in this film is very limited, but the screen time that Gary Oldman has is very good, as always. What happens is that humans eventually run into the ape colony. You guys of course remember from the 2011 movie that after having escaped this research company, Caesar and his now very sentient ape followers, they have in the duration of these 10 years established a ape tribe colony in the woods near San Francisco. And of course, when humans and ape run into each other, bad things happen, because in this tribe there's another chimpanzee, Koba, who you guys of course remember from the 2011 film, had been experimented heavily on by the research company where James Franco's character in the previous film worked. And this Koba chimpanzee doesn't like humans very much. In fact, Koba wants to kill humans, and you will see some of that in this film. And Koba, he has a line he says to Caesar in the film, which goes something like this: "Caesar love humans more than ape." And of course there's this rivalry between Caesar and Koba, and you'll see what that turns out to result in later in the film. But the voice work, of course, the voice of Caesar is once again by Andy Serkis, you know, the guy who used to voice Callum in the Lord of the Rings universe, and he delivers a superb job once again, and I hope he gets an Oscar for his voice work. And the effects in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is of course very good, and especially the CGI of the apes, the animation of Caesar. When the movie begins, you guys of course have seen Caesar is painted with war paint in face, and the way the hairs move on his face and stuff like that. You sit and think in the movie theater, is that a real ape or what? But it isn't. So I'm very excited to see how good the apes will look in the sequel to this film, which supposedly comes out in theaters around April 2016. But this can of course be pushed further into the future, I guess, because that sometimes happen with movies. But this movie, the sequel to the 2011 movie, as I said, it's in many ways it's better, it's more deep than the 2011 movie. I was entertained by this film. It made me think about society and culture and how we treat each other in daily lives, build walls around our cities and lives and stuff like that, and try to dehumanize our enemies and stuff like that. So it's very well written, and if I'm gonna rate this film, I must say I will give it, in honor of this being about apes, I will use bananas instead of Coca-Cola bottles, so I'll give this movie 5 out of 5 bananas. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report, and if you liked this review, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch any of my other reviews, then click the link in the description, and if you want to donate to this show, then click the PayPal link in the description. Bye for now.